Well guys, the STEDI garage is getting bigger. We wanted to go hit tougher tracks and get further into the bush, and that's where the requirements of solid axles and something that's just going to be all round just that bit stronger is. So here we are with the new STEDI GU Patrol. The 200's done us really proud over the years, and it's definitely not going anywhere, but it needed a brother in the stable. We came to the conclusion that live axles was definitely what we wanted. We looked on what was on the market, and we realistically came down to we needed a Patrol. So we started looking at options of, do we buy a Patrol, engine conversion, a couple of different things, but we realistically jumped on Facebook Marketplace one night, and what popped up? Trig Point's 4.8 extra cab ute. Had 90% of the things we wanted. We would be stupid to go past it. So down to our friends at Trig Point we went. A couple of weeks later, in the STEDI garage it is. So the front of the vehicle, it's got an ARB bull bar. That was actually custom modified to suit a high mount winch by the boys at Trig Point. We've decided to run the 11 Expedition winch from Runva with that nice new fair lead and hook, so it sits nice and clean in the front. Being the 11 instead of the 13 means it's actually got a quicker line speed. So being that we tried to keep the weight of the vehicle down, didn't think we needed the 13. If we really need to, we can double line pull it. So the quicker line speed of the 11 is definitely what we wanted. We've got 3 Evos on the front. We've gone for one spot in the middle and then a flood each side. So absolutely awesome lighting on the front of the vehicle. GME whip, so that's connected to a GME XRS UHF inside the cabin. Yet again, one of the only brands of UHF that we all ever see on a STEDI vehicle. Got the fog lights with the halo ring to suit the ARB Deluxe bull bar. And then My Auto Parts helped us out with a new grille and a new set of headlights. The headlights had that sort of yellow tinge that happens over time. And the grille had been cut to fit the high mount. So being that there's no high mount in there anymore, a nice brand new shiny grille and headlights. And of course, we've done our LED headlight conversion in the headlights as well. So underneath the front diff's also braced. It's not a full brace, but it's got your knuckles and your radius arm mounts, etc. So the main parts that bend in the GUs, that's been braced in it. It's got the ARB scrub bars that have been custom mounted to a set of custom rock sliders under there. Extremely strong. So you'll notice there are already some marks on the vehicle. It's been on its first trip, and I can tell you these rock sliders are extremely strong. They've been well used already. It's then also got a stainless snorkel going down the side. A bit different to most though. It's got the Sparrow ram head on it. I think it just looks absolutely killer. So around the back of the vehicle, it's got a long range fuel tank in the main. So that's 147 litres. Top onto that is the 40 litre sub tank. So the long range tank has actually been put on some custom mounts. So it actually sits about 50 mil, I think it is higher than standard. Meaning that when you're doing the rock crawling and everything, less likely to hit it, which is good. Obviously this started life as a wagon. It's been cut into an extra cab, as you can see. So that was done by Tin Man Fabrications. Absolutely awesome job on the chop. It's had enough room left in the cab that it's got a nice storage box behind your driver and passenger seats. So that's where we keep all our spare parts. So it's in front of the rear axle, keeping weight down nice and low as well. But it's the perfect length. So in that we're carrying spare CVs, spare hubs, wheel bearings, all your belts, all of your hoses, oils, etc. So it is a fairly extensive list of spare parts that we do actually have in there. It's fairly jam-packed, and it's a bit like Tetris to fit it in there. But I think it's in vehicle, it's the best vehicle I've ever had for carrying spare parts. So what goes underneath the Patrol? So it's running on a bit of a hybrid suspension kit. So we've got long arms in the front, superior engineering arms throughout the rest of it, rear coil tower brace kit sitting in there. That's actually a custom coil tower brace kit. The boys at Trig Point really wanted to keep this vehicle lightweight, and so instead of a big heavy coil tower brace kit, they made a custom one. It's absolutely epic. The diff ratios have been changed, so they've gone from a 3.5 ratio that they are factory in the 4.8 autos to a 4.11 diff gear. They're also fitted to ARB front and rear air lockers. They run from a twin motor compressor and tank that sits behind the driver's seat. It's also got 25% reduction gears in the transfer case. Automatic, petrol, not really good for engine braking going down hills. Those reduction gears really help, and it's quite comfortable to drive going down hills now. We've got a set of Dirty Life rims, and wrapped around them is your Mickey Thompson Baja Boss Muddies. Same as what's on the 200. The whole STEDI fleet runs Mickey Thompsons. We've tried, tested them, and they're our #1 choice of rubber. So keen eyes will notice it's been resprayed. It's not a wrap. it has been resprayed, so all got disassembled and repainted. So that was Montverne Panel Masters that did that for us. They did an absolute sick job for us. We left them with very minimal time to do it. They managed to fit us in and got the car turned around and did an absolutely epic job. Also got a couple of new flares put on the front of it. They arrived late. Yet again, nothing was too hard for them. Matched the colour up perfectly, got them fitted. The professionalism of them is absolutely awesome. It's a little bit of a shame. We had 3 weeks between the vehicle getting resprayed and delivered back to us till it going on its first trip. It's already got dents, scratches, bush pinstripes. That's to be expected when you've got a vehicle that you push really hard. But the boys at Montverne, I know that if we ever need this to look like a show car again, it won't be a hassle to drop it off to them, get them to tear it down and respray it. It'll be like a brand new vehicle again. It's STEDI grey now, but it can't be classed as a STEDI show vehicle unless it's got the STEDI wrap around it. So as per the whole fleet, STEDI on the doors, STEDI logo on the back, it just makes the vehicle really pop going down the highway. So the back half of the vehicle, obviously there's not a wagon anymore, so it needed something, a Trig Point service body. Of course, being their vehicle, it had to have one, and there's definitely no chance that that was going anywhere for us. Being a service body, it's not a tray with a canopy on top, it is one piece. That makes it extremely strong, but also extremely lightweight. It is still a relatively simple setup. So back here, storage box. Inside there, I carry a fair bit of recovery gear in there. It's got a spare winch rope, it's ratchet straps at the moment, but a fair bit of the recovery gear fits in there. And then this side of the canopy is just open. So if we're doing an extreme trip, swags can go in there, storage tub, cooker, etc. Whatever you need. Very large area. Occasionally you might even have, you know, the camera crew that stays in your vehicle. You need to store some of their camera gear, their swags, etc. So having that big open area really is handy. Up the top in the door, we've got the micro touches. So they work really well. Obviously built-in dimmer, orange and the white light. So at night you can dim the amber right down. You don't have the bugs coming up to you, but if I'm setting my swag up underneath here, etc., go to the white and have that nice crisp bright light that I need. Great thing about the Trig Point service bodies is they're very modular in terms of the roof. So we've opted to actually put a Rhino platform, mainly because they're so universal that we can change the setup of this vehicle easily. So up the front, 6 of the quad evos, 4 center, and then 2 of the side ones that have the side shooter. They work absolutely awesome. Being that there's a fair bit of distance back from the front windscreen as well means I get a nice shadow over the bonnet, so there's zero bonnet glare from these, which is absolutely epic for a roof mounted light. Up on top, we've also got Starlink Mini. So that's mounted into a Boss aluminium mount, extremely robust mount. It married perfectly to the Rhino Rack Series 6 platform as well. 200 watt Red Arc solar panel up here, same as the 200. The solar panel worked absolutely awesome on the 200, so it was a no-brainer to go straight back to Red Arc and get one of them on the roof. And we wouldn't be fans without our Max Trax Extreme. So a set of 4 of them mounted to the back. The Trig Point canopy's got the ladder that drops off the back, meaning that drop that down, climb up, and it's easy as anything to get the Max Trax off the roof. Makes just life easy. That's what we want with this vehicle. We want everything accessible, as easy as possible, meaning that it's not a chore to get anything. Also up on the Rhino Series 6 platform, we've got our new swivel brackets. They've got the C4s on the back. So these are actually the dual color C4s. Amber with the diffuse lens down the bottom, and then you've got your white at the top. So we've got them on a 3-way switch in the canopy. Just makes it really easy to choose what sort of light we want. We've also got an 8-inch hyperflood light at the back. That works really well for 170-degree beam, extremely wide left to right. On the passenger side of the vehicle, we've got a 2-meter Sunseeker awning. They're mounted with the lock and load system, so easy to attach to the side of the Rhino rack. Spare tire on the back. That's got a bin bag on the back. It's actually inside the bin bag. We've just got a plastic bin from Bunnings. Means that when you get back from your trip, you just rip that out. You can dump it in the bin, put it back in, you're ready to go. No need for, you know, bags, all that sort of stuff. Reverse camera up top in the middle. That's actually really nice because it's directly in line with your tow bar. So if you're reversing up to a trailer, etc., there's nothing worse than reverse cameras when they're to the side. Ladder on the back of the vehicle. That makes, as I said earlier, ease of access to the Max Trax is absolutely epic. And then it does have a trundle drawer in the back as well. So Trig Point have made a really nice trundle drawer that's absolutely fully sealed from dust. And in front of that, under the canopy, you've actually got a water tank. It's pretty impressive for a water tank. They've gone above and beyond. So this will actually, if you've got a filter, allow you to draw from like a freshwater creek in the high country to fill your water. It'll also then allow you to pump the water out. It's also gravity fed. or you can also use the pump to draw straight from a freshwater creek in the high country straight to your outlet. So if you want to set that up for a shower, etc., you're not actually using your fresh drinking water. You can draw straight from your creek or your water source and have your showers with it. So Trig Point, they just take absolutely everything that you can and make it that little bit nicer to live with. Around this side of the canopy, as I said earlier, it's already been on its first trip. There is a couple of love marks. Another great thing about Trig Point is they've got this rear bar. It actually sits proud of your service body. That means that when you're off-road, that's what takes the brunt of the impact, not the service body. So that's a really handy thing for if you do go hard wheeling. You're not going to damage too much. Inside this side is where you're going to be living out from. So you've got the Trig Point kitchen slide out. That works really, really well. You've then got obviously your table down here. Up the top here is storage for a twin burner induction cooktop. That comes down here and plugs into power outlets sitting inside here. You've also then got your sink there. That's close to your water outlet, so they're just underneath that rear storage box, so easy to get water into your kitchen. Pantry staples. I use this for all of my larger items. I normally have some clear top bags that live in there. So as you could see, it was extremely easy to open. It's just as easy to pack up. Meaning that pulling over on the side of the road, having lunch, etc., it's an absolute breeze. As I keep saying, it's all about convenience, being easy to set up. 85 litre Bushman upright fridge, so that's got your freezer at the top, so I suppose ice cream out the bush, absolutely epic. And then the big fridge compartment down the bottom. That's sitting beside our Red Arc 50 amp DC-DC charger. That's connected to a 200 amp lithium, and it's got a 2000 watt inverter. So 2000 watt inverter connects to the power points in here that we run our induction, etc. from. All the electrics in one spot, your living area from one side as well, and then bulk storage on the other side. It just makes everything so easy to live with. So inside the cabin, it's clean, but it's still got absolutely everything you need. So it's got an aftermarket head unit, a couple of speakers have been chucked in the door, so long travels, you know, going up to Cape York, etc. You can have the music going. Steering wheel controls obviously all still work with this head unit. It is the 5-speed auto. Switches on the side here for all our lighting, as well as Ken A Customs panel where the sunglasses holder is meant to go at the top. So as you've seen, lots of lights on the vehicle. We need lots of switching. To the right hand side of the steering wheel, we've got a winch isolator switch as well as winch in and out for the run bar at the front. Aftermarket seats, so it's got a set of aftermarket seats, but they're on the factory rails, so they're still 100% ADR compliant, which is absolutely epic. Storage box in behind, so as I said earlier, all our spare parts live in behind these seats. There's then room on top, so you can put your duffel bag with all your clothes, etc. on it, so clothes storage inside here. Toolkit sits in behind the passenger seat in front of the storage box. Everything's got a home. Everyone knows where everything's meant to go. Means that no matter what, you can just turn the key and take off in this vehicle on any adventure you need. The vehicle does also run a GPS tracker. The whole STEDI fleet runs a GPS tracker. As we know, more and more vehicles unfortunately are going missing these days, so it's a little bit of peace of mind knowing that we can track wherever the vehicles are. Under the bonnet of the vehicle, it is still relatively standard. It has had a tune on the motor. The bonnet's been spaced up a little bit and the cover taken off, so they are known, all Patrols but the 4.8s for heat soaking a little bit, so anything we could do to keep it that bit cooler definitely doesn't go astray. It's also got a set of extractors on the side, and then that goes through to a custom made sports exhaust that we had put on just to make it sound that little bit better when it's going up the hills. Where does that leave us now with the Patrol? Well, it's actually already been out on its first trip, so it went out to the New South Wales coast and did some of the toughest four-wheel driving this country's got. It's got a couple of battle scars, but it performed absolutely perfectly. We didn't expect anything less. Coming from the Trig Point guys, they really did build a car that was second to none and made sure that it was ready for us to do what we wanted. There are a couple of things that we do still want to do to the vehicle. We do have a couple of auto accessories, so the automatic transmission, a bigger pan, an auto cooler, a lock-up switch, as well as a gauge so we can keep an eye on the temps. So that's going to get fitted. As I said earlier, we've got a front coil tower brace kit to go in it, so that's just to marry up. The rear's been braced, let's brace the front, make sure that we're nice and strong. The vehicle is going on a relatively big trip in a couple of months, so it's going to be loaded pretty heavy and getting pushed on some of the toughest tracks that we know. Well, there it is, guys. STEDI's new extra cab 4.8 litre GU Patrol. I've definitely missed a few things on the vehicle. It's got a massive list of accessories, but I think you'll all agree we've got some fun times coming up in this vehicle. If you've got any more questions about the vehicle, message our customer service team, give us a phone call. We'd love to hear you. As always, we've got our blogs on our website, social media posts, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, a wealth of knowledge there, and where you'll find out on all new upcoming STEDI news.